You said you didn't watch anything about the Jalen Hurts Manningcast, did you? Did you catch any of it?
No. I did because I knew that he was going to say jack shit. I
You
mean,
know,
he's
Kev,
the
I was
most.
going to say, you didn't miss much, man. You didn't miss
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
And I wrote it in my post saying, like, they never got on a level, like, playing field, it felt like. They never got in a groove because there were so many 3-and-outs. So when there's so many 3-and-outs, they have to cut the commercial break and everything. He did
yeah,
bring up,
yeah.
they were talking about him. Like, you know that Eli and Peyton, they had these questions. So in case they
Yeah.
fall into any, like, dead area, they can just ask these questions. So they're asking about Jalen's like, hey, why'd you bench 600 pounds when you're at Oklahoma? And he was starting to talk about like how Kelsey looks at him in the weight room and he thinks it's funny that they bench the same weight. All of a sudden, Rams punt, they return it, goes to commercial. It probably would have
Yeah.
been a pretty funny soundbite, but yeah, man, they just never got into a groove. He talks very low. The sound was too loud, so it was over him and stuff. It was just a
Yeah.
very awkward interview, especially for guys who know each other. He goes all the way back to the Manning camp in high school and everything. But
It's a
talk of
very
it,
hard show to. It's a very hard
yes.
show to produce
Mm-hmm.
and to host. I mean, because Peyton and Eli aren't broadcasters anyway. They're not used to this shit. Imagine you and I were doing this. I stepped off the show for a minute, and there was two. Well, no, okay. So say I was Eli and you were Peyton, and we had a guest on, and
Why
we
do
were
I got
trying
to
to
be
talk.
why do I got to be the shittier brother?
They're both damn good, right? I mean, they both have multiple Super Bowls.
One's a 500 quarterback, going to sneak into the Hall of Fame. But okay, go ahead.
But
Whatever.
that's neither here nor there. So imagine we have like a guest come on, say Joe Cordell comes back on or something, right? You got to talk to him and you got to go through this rundown of stuff that you're thinking of asking him while you're monitoring a game at the same time and having to kind of talk through that and explain what's going on and do like this game play hybrid game play-by-play /
Yeah.
analysis while doing an interview at the same time. And then you got a producer in the ear saying, okay, we're going to commercial here. Yeah, that's like hard, like live television juggling. So when you got a guy like Jalen who's just kind of quiet and reserved as it is, I mean, you're trying to like pull shit out of him at the same time, and it's just not. I mean, it's tough. So I didn't expect much of it, and that's
No,
all
I
right.
mean,
He doesn't have to look. I mean, every time we do this topic with the fans are like, well, who cares what he says to the media? I get it, but that wasn't like a Jeff McClain and Zach Berman and people asking him
it
about.
felt like that, though.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a good opportunity to get him out there and kind
Yes.
of like loosen him up a little bit. Because you remember when we had Brandon on, we were talking about like, hey, it seems like Jalen's a bit contentious with the media,
Mm-hmm.
even in situations where he doesn't need to be. Like, I think that's just the Saban effect of, it's rat poison and these guys are all out to get you. And no, I think it's Peyton and Eli. It's not like, Howard Eskin out there.
And that's why I was so excited because he should be the most popular athlete in Philadelphia at this moment right now. He should be going toe to toe with Joel Embiid and Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to see that because he's leading into Steph Curry, who is an A-list athlete. He's leading into John Hamm, who's an A-list actor. That's so cool to see that, like, our quarterback, who would have picked our quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who was literally like playing for his football life, it felt like, or for another contract. I did see that shout out from Tubby Raymond for the Delaware Blue Hens wing tee. Shout out Dave Raymond, who created the Philly Fanatic. But it was so cool to see that, our quarterback was on a national spotlight with Peyton and Eli, and a lot of people were talking about the shirt he was wearing. God bless whoever hating on me. The sweatshirt got a little bit of rounds. I didn't hear the Kincaid clip. I know some people were talking about John Kincaid show. Did you hear it? I don't want to get the context wrong.
No, when I was coming back today from dropping my kids off, they were talking a little bit about it. And I think John's take was that he just felt the sweatshirt was a little corny because he doesn't think that the Eagles fans were necessarily hating on him or haters or whatever. But
I disagree with that.
My take with Jalen was always like, I don't think anybody was out there wanting him to fail or not to succeed. I think that there were just reservations like, hey, seems like a good kid, like a good leader, the right mentality. These guys like playing for him. We just have doubts about whether he has the arm to be an NFL quarterback. So I don't know. Maybe some people construe that as being a hater. Some people don't. But I don't know.
Me as a hater, I was. Because I think the shirt. I hate litigating this because it's not that big a deal. It's a $50 sweatshirt from a clothing brand, but I was a hater. I was like, good guy. Hope he succeeds. Hope he's a franchise. And that's what every rational Eagles fan had that same sentiment. It's like, hey man, what do you think about Jay? It's like, dude, love him. Great guy off the field. Seems like an awesome guy. but I don't think he has the arm strength, or I don't think he can read a defense, or I don't think he can do this, and I don't think he can do that. And he's answered every question mark the first 4 games through the season. So I just can't believe that we're poking and prodding at a sweatshirt when we're 4-0, about to be hopefully 5-0. Like
Eagles are
that just
undefeated. Phillies are going to the playoffs. Like, what's the
and
yeah?
we're it's not the conversation for a Monday.